Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us once again for the Discipline Therapy Podcast with your two hosts, Mr. E.L. Discipline, and with him always, Suhey Sotomayor. And as you can see, we have a lovely guest in between, but I'm going to keep her a surprise first. I'm going to let Mr. E.L. Discipline do his thing. Oh, wait, but before we do that, got to clear the energy. No way. We know what we're doing around here.
I love it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, shout out to Center Stage Music Studios. Center Stage Music Studios in Long Island, Belmore, New York. Shout out to Joe. Okay, so we know y'all are fiends, and I'm trying to get into this quick.
He's excited in case you guys can't see that.
We know y'all are fiends, and what that means is we have a dose of discipline therapy where everything is completely free. See, if you subscribe, there's no monthly fee. It's free. It's judgment-free, sucker-free, censor-free, sensitive-free, and plenty of liberty. God and the ancient ancestors are great, and that means everything else is straight. So go grab your wine, popcorn, or roll a blunt, but the main thing is make sure the children are in bed. Why? Because we have that soul food conversation. Prepare your mind to be fed. Light one up, inhale life, and exhale strife. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, you are tuned in to the Discipline Therapy Podcast.
We're here. All right. Since everybody is
Did that
dying
impress
to
you?
know.
Did that impress you?
That's it. I love that.
In unison?
I love that.
Everybody says that when they're like, "Oh yeah, how'd you guys do that at the
That
same
was cool.
time?"
You see that? It's magic, but we can't give our secrets away.
Hmm.
We're professional here, okay?
Okay. All right.
So who is this in between Mr. Yield Discipline and myself? This is my longtime friend. Do you want to state your name?
Yes, Melissa.
Isn't that nice?
Hi.
Was she on the show before?
I don't know. Was she?
I was. I
You were
was
a caller?
Yeah, I was a guest caller.
In case for those who didn't visually see it but heard it, you heard this sexy voice before. And she's
I'm
getting hot.
I'm
It
getting
was
hot.
Mr. Discipline, you're making her hot over here.
Hold on a second.
This is the
was,
first time we've had a female guest disrobe from sitting next to Mr. Discipline.
I'm getting hot from the both of you. I'm like
Oh,
sandwiched in
Me too.
between.
That's what I'm talking about.
That it was the single parents and dating because you actually gave me homework.
Ooh, did you do it?
No.
Bien pendeja. Why would you bring it up? This man is a stickler. Punishment.
I'm trying to help him.
Punishment for her for not doing her homework.
Sorry.
You know, I'm gonna retract my longtime friend here because I would have done the homework. I'll have you know. No, I'm just kidding. I love you.
I love you too.
All right, season 8, episode 84. Are you ready for this?
I'm ready.
What is it about a dominant that drives women insane? This is BDSM 108, part 8. Well, part 1 of part 8, because we have 2 of these. With Melissa, the in-studio guest.
Yes.
This is where the clapping comes from. We snap around here. All right, so what do you think about that, Melissa? What about a dominant that drives a woman insane?
Oh my gosh. A man who exudes confidence, power,
Okay.
someone who is secure.
Within himself?
Definitely
Yes.
subjective, right? For you personally, you don't think like this universal for women, right? Or is it universal for women?
Good question. I mean, when I think of the word dominant, I've always thought of men.
Okay.
I've never really thought of women
Interesting.
being in that role as well. And it's only been because of my experience over the years, and as I've grown and matured, then I'm like, wait a second.
Women can be it too?
Yeah, they could be kick-ass too.
Do you think it's
You know,
something that you learned? Is a learned behavior like
Abs-
from your family?
Absolutely, absolutely. Especially since growing up, which is ironic enough, growing up in a very dominant family where the women are strong, and feeling most of the time very intimidated by that, because in my mind, I'm thinking the role of a woman is
soft.
submissive. She's the helpmate. She's there to be the helper.
That is interesting because you're saying that the women in your family are very strong women, but you have seen the dominant come from the males in the family. Is that what you're saying?
From the males, yes, but in my family, it's the women.
But also because I know your family, they are also they are women who are in their traditional roles.
That too. It's almost like a combination where, and I'll give a perfect example. My mom
Hmm.
is a dominant woman. She is a force to be
Yeah.
reckoned with.
With your ethnicity,
Right.
what is your
Oh,
ethnicity?
I'm Puerto Rican. I'm Latina. I'm
Mhm.
Hispanic. Yeah.
Okay.
But then I've also seen her role as a wife in terms of cooking for my dad, cleaning the house. She was, at home
Mhm.
raising us,
Mhm.
taking care of everything. So she had a little bit of both.
So she
Um,
was dominant in her outside role, but she came back to her typical traditional role in the house with her
absolutely,
husband.
absolutely. But at the same time, she made it very clear to my father, "You don't mess with me." Because at the drop of a dime, I will leave your ass.
Oh shoot.
That's just my mom. She's just such a confident woman. So sometimes I even question, like, where did the genes skip with me?
She's like, "What happened, man?"
Yeah, and I'm just being honest. I'm just being
Three
honest.
things I have to say.
Yeah,
The show you were on was dating single parents in this modern era.
yeah. Okay.
That's what the title was.
Mm,
The second thing is disrespectful that you didn't do the homework.
Ooh,
Or not
there we
just
go.
me, for yourself.
mm.
And the third thing is it makes sense because you're Puerto Rican. Puerto Rican
About
women
what?
are not just masochists, they're brats. So it's like in a
Mhm.
way, it's almost like you wanted to respect me to because you respect me, you're gonna do it. But the fact that the brattiness came out and you didn't do it, it's like he don't own me in a way. Like
Can I answer that?
I'm not gonna do this shit.
I'm gonna answer that. So I've done that homework before in the past, which
But and you said
which
that on the show too.
right, right. And I've had the list and I've wrote the what I've wanted, what I'm looking for. And I've done it over and over again and I just kind of I don't know.
Let me ask you a question. Is
Just
one of the things that when you ask that you're looking
mhm.
for a man, is him being dominant one of them?
I've never like
Why is
asked.
that? Do you
Because when she looks at dominance, she thinks of men. So she
so
already
all
has
over,
that.
it's already in her head, so she doesn't have to ask for one.
Yeah.
It comes,
That it
it's a given.
yeah, it's like a car with
Interesting.
an engine.
Got you.
So it's almost like I'm a magnet for these dominant men. Unfortunately, they've been assholes.
So they have
Yeah.
some characteristic,
Right.
what's a dominant trait, but not all of. They're
Correct.
not in a complete total package.
Exactly. And it's toxic too.
What type of
So
woman are you? Are you modern? Are you old school? Are you traditional? Are you submissive, feminine? Are you combative, dominant,
She is not
bratty?
combative. I can tell you that much. Look at her.
I,
I love you.
I'm a pussy cat.
She
But
is.
why didn't you
I'm
do the
sweet.
homework though? You didn't
Can I
finish.
okay, yes.
Okay.
So I'm gonna answer that. I think for me, because I've done it before,
Okay.
it's just
You're
something
saying
that
like
brought me
what's the
back
point?
to a place that it
Ah,
was just like, what's the point?
that's
No
just what I was just
disrespect
about to
to
say. I was
you.
just about to say that. What's the point?
Yeah,
Yeah.
no disrespect to
No,
you.
okay.
And I
Like I
understand.
like I said, it was
Yeah,
little disrespect for me, but a lot for yourself.
I
Wait,
understand
when you
that.
Hmm.
say what's the
Mhm.
point, is it because what's the point? I already did it and nothing's happened.
Yeah,
Mm.
pretty much.
Mm.
So you should never, if you did it one time and it didn't work out, that doesn't mean you just stop.
Mm,
You know what I mean?
When you were in the past, you could have been more toxic than you are now. So now you might be more enlightened. You might be more on a spiritual journey,
mhm,
and like trying to manifest back then wouldn't work because you were already toxic. So
Mm-hmm.
now that you in your possibly divinity, there's
Or
just
working on
or
it.
working on it,
Mm-hmm.
mm,
you know, I don't know, but let's say
mm,
do darts in the dark trying to hit the bullseye, right? It'll be easier for you to manifest. You see me,
mm,
I'm at my highest peak, my highest consciousness, pinnacle of not just career and everything that it's spiritual, mental. I wasn't like this when I was young. So anything I want to manifest now, I can manifest easier. I couldn't back then. Even if
Mm-hmm.
I say I
mhm,
wanted something, because I don't feel like my spirit was pure.
mm,
My spirit was enlightened. My spirit was potent. My energy, you see what I'm saying?
mhm,
But it's more now that I could put
Mm-hmm.
anything into my
mm,
mind and it will manifest into reality. So
right,
that's why I'm saying like you kind of did yourself a disservice
mm,
if you are less than toxic you were now back then, you could probably manifest it now.
Actually,
mm,
also, let me ask you this question because
mm,
I've known you for such a long time and you
mm,
are religious. Well,
Mm-hmm.
when we first met, you were very religious. You know what I
Yes.
mean? Not
Mm-hmm.
that there's anything wrong with that. I was the heathen. She was the religious one. That's fine.
She
But
scared me.
For real?
No,
that's
I
for
was.
another
That's one other thing. Yeah,
conversation.
but I loved it. But I loved it from the beginning.
I'm surprised because
Mhm.
you being so religious and from
Mhm.
that background, prayer is big.
Right.
I mean,
Right.
I know because you guys came and you prayed for me when I was in the
Mhm.
hospital that time.
Right.
So in in having those beliefs and then to think why bother writing it
Mhm.
over, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
It's I'm more shocked because of that. Like you have that belief to pray,
Mm.
it's the same thing. You're just shifting it over to a different energy.
Right. No, and I have to agree. I think it's really about the perspective. I
Mm,
think has changed for me. Experiences as well has affected me and
Mm,
my way of thinking. That, and I mentioned this on the when I was on the call, that I've even questioned, um, my faith
mm,
mm,
and who I am, because faith activates the prayer.
mm-hmm.
So in my mind, that day when we went to go see you, and then I saw what happened afterwards, yes, that was my faith
Oh
in
yeah.
believing that. But I think because I've been so jaded,
mm,
um, that I'm at the point where it's like, if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. I don't
Got
need to
you.
do anything about it. Let it just come naturally because, um, and I hate to say this, but I'm just going to be honest. I've been the hunter,
Mm.
right?
All right, you've been going out trying to.
I've been the lioness
Mm-hmm.
that I'm going out there and I'm hunting. But what has happened, I've chosen the wrong prey, right?
Mm,
Because and I think it's been you know, it's been difficult for me because then I'm questioning, how can I trust a man? Or how can I trust that he's going to be honest, that he's going to
mm.
be forthcoming?
Because of your experiences, you're saying. Got
Absolutely.
you.
Absolutely.
mm,
So, it just thinking about the assignment and putting that pen to paper kind of just stirred something in me that was almost like that was almost like this is this is like hurting. This is
Mm.
bringing me to a
So it,
place.
it, it was a trigger.
It was. It
Mm,
was. Absolutely. So, thank you.
mm,
So when I had thought about it and I started, it just I
yeah.
couldn't even like bring myself to even do it.
Mm,
mm.
So that was
interesting.
a lot of big part of the reason why. So
Okay. All right. So we're gonna get into this topic. You ready?
I'm always
yeah.
ready. Bring it on.
Woohoo.
All right.
I'm
So
excited.
what is it about a dominant that drives women insane? So you gave your perspective, they exude confidence, etc. Okay, so I want to get into your elaboration because you're a female. A lot of men pay attention to this because
Mhm.
some men out there they want to know how
The
the
intricate minds work.
psychology of
Mm-hmm.
women, right? Because they don't know.
Mm, mm,
How
that's
do you
good.
spot that? Can you spot a man a mile away dominance? Can you smell it? Is it some type of pheromones? How do you know? Even though you saying you know what you like,
Mhm,
this is universal for dominant men. They exude confidence, etc.
mhm,
But how do you know? Let me give you an example. You walk to a bar, you're in a bar,
mhm,
a guy walks in with a tailored suit. He walks up to you and says, I'll buy you a drink.
mhm.
This is what I do for a living. This is how much money I make. Is that dominance?
Um, hmm, that's a good question.
Is that dominant also? The adjective and the action,
To a certain
the
extent,
verb.
I believe it does. I think for me, when I found myself in situations where I'm at a party or I'm at a bar or somewhere, and it's like when you lock eyes with someone, it's almost like it. I can't even
Like a
explain it.
connection.
It
Okay.
like it draws me in, and
Okay.
then if the person approaches me
Hmm.
and it's the way he talks and it's the confidence,
So
not the
what
cockiness,
about
but
that guy? That scenario. Is that
I'm not
dominance?
really impressed. Don't
So
I'm
it's
not
not
impressed with the suits and the money. I'm looking for something
But
more.
is that dominance to you?
if a man tells you that, look at all the money he got. This is what I do. Is that dominant? Is he showing dominance?
I I mean, for me, no, for
Okay.
me, not for me.
That's what I wanted to hear.
Yeah.
All right.
You are salvageable. Yay! She got the right answer.
Okay, let's get into it.
Mm,
So there's a big misconception about the modern dominant and the traditional dominant. These guys, women think they can spot them away. The universal look.
mm,
They wear suits. They look like the
mm,
Christmas Grey guy in 50 Shades of Grey.
right.
Latex gloves or leather. They're always wearing. They always got a whip in their hand. This is the biggest myth. This is the misconception. You know what I'm saying? When people look at me, they're like, "How can he be a dominant? He look like a hood nigga." Some fucking rapper, tattoos all
Mm,
over the place. He smokes weed. How can he be a dominant? Yes, I can.
mm,
You see what I'm saying? Most people will look at it and be like, why is he not in? Why is he not a whip? Why does he not talk about BDSM enough? Post about
mhm,
it? Why doesn't he like do shit in like dungeons or whatever it is? Why doesn't he have leather gloves? Why doesn't he have latex? There are misconceptions.
mm,
You
mm,
see?
Mhm.
So what happens is, I said this in BDSM 101,
yeah.
episode 12, season 1 finale. A dominant is synonymous with a gangster. Real gangsters
Mm.
move in silence. You see?
I was just
Those ones
thinking
that are
that.
out there and the leading with his pockets, that's fake.
Yes, I
You see what I'm
agree.
saying? That's why I asked you the question earlier. So most likely, these guys are like Superman. They walk onto the world like Clark Kent. Why? Because if Superman walked into the bar and
Mhm.
all chicks knew that was Superman, what would happen?
They'd all chase him,
Right,
Exactly. They'd be
right.
shit throwing. Women would probably be fighting with each other, bopping each other in the head with Grey Goose.
bopping his head.
You see,
Hennessy, yeah.
Underwear's all over the
you see
place,
what I'm
bras.
saying?
Dropping panties.
You see what I'm
Mhm.
Yeah,
saying?
yeah,
These
yeah.
men have extraordinary power. So why are you
Mm,
giving that away for free and letting everybody get access to you? You see, real men that for me I feel dominant. They're not also gonna be out here like taking pictures with different type of women every week, hoes, and oh I'm out here, I'm out there. No, because a guy like this appreciates exclusivity, especially even with
mm,
his women.
mm.
You see what I'm saying?
Interesting.
So a lot of people don't understand because a lot of people don't understand the education of BDSM. A lot of people just talk about impact play. I do that too. I've been engaging in this lifestyle for 14 years. So I know about all the books and the terminologies and all that. However, when it pertains to BDSM,
Mm,
this is 80% mental and emotional. The 20% is the sex. So the bedroom is the last thing on the
mm,
mind. But what a lot of people put out there, especially for those books
mm.
and the films, is the sexual aspect. So
Mhm.
I
why
see.
are women going crazy for these guys? I just broke it down.
That makes sense.
These guys are going to be willing to provide what 98% men aren't. They're in the 2%.
Mm, mm,
They're considered seducers. They're unselfish in the bedroom. They are aware of the female anatomy.
Right, but it's not just that; it's all of that put together.
right.
Because you
Yes,
have
because
some guys that have
and
one and not the other.
we're gonna get into
Mm,
it because the thing is, what makes a lion a lion? He don't wake up the next day and say, "Oh, I'm gonna be a herbivore and eat plants like the elephant."
Mhm.
No, he's born like that. He can't do that, even if he wanted to do it.
That's
The
true.
elephants would be looking at him like, what?
mhm,
It's like the Lion King when
mhm,
Simba left, right? He's an
Mhm.
apex predator. He's a king, but
mm.
when he left, he thought he was like the warthog, Timber, and
Yeah.
whatever.
Pumbaa and
Pumbaa
Timon.
and
Hakuna
Timber. He
Matata.
thought he was like them, eating worms and all that.
Mhm.
It's a conditional thing, but the thing is, this is a natural thing.
Mhm.
So we're gonna get
Mm,
into it because there's a big misconception out here where
right.
whether it's false narratives of BDSM, the wrong education, just a sexual aspect, just owning a sub means you're a dom. No, we're gonna get into it.
Yeah, I had
Okay.
no idea. So definitely school me.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So, like I was saying,
Mhm,
they don't fit the stigma, especially me. Like I'm not in suits all the time. You know, my papa that
mhm,
died at 101 in 2020,
mhm,
April 14th. He died the week of his birthday. April 18th was his birthday.
mhm,
He taught me how to tie a tie at 11 years old. So, like I've always seen him in suits. My parents are reverends. They weren't always reverends. But the thing is,
mhm,
like, this is something that is innately in you. When you said earlier about what I think about dominance is
mhm,
associated with men,
mhm.
that's innate for you. You see what I'm saying? So this is not something you learn on podcasts. This is not something you learn on a books and a show, and you say, "Oh, I can do this. Let me go to the hardware store, get some rope, get some fucking gloves.
Oh, to be a dominant,
Find the
to be a dominant
woman
man.
and spank her and choke her right, and now I'm a dom." You see, this is a universal thing. You dominate in all things. Not just that. Now you have the character, and we're gonna get into it. So, I believe the attributes that a dominant possess that make women go crazy: sexual prowess.
I would say yes.
He knows his way around the female anatomy inside and out. So when Suhei said, "Yeah, there's more layers," I said I was gonna get into it. Now, part of him being a seducer, part of him being a seducer is not the fact that he's also unselfish in bed and knows his way around the female anatomy. Internally, the outward is the mental stimulation. This is part of foreplay. Now, there's a big misconception of foreplay out there. People only think sensual play, impact play, I'm spanking her rough, erotic asphyxiation, choking her. No, foreplay are the littlest things that people don't talk about. Relationship 101, holding each other's hand as you're walking down the street. The flirty conversations. Can't wait to put this big dick in your mouth, whatever. Whatever it is. You understand what I'm saying? It's the flirtiness. It's the text, the good morning text. It's the communication. This is the stuff that a lot of people don't talk about.
It's not just the first 15 minutes before sex.
Yes.
Right.
Where it's physical.
Right.
You got to understand, there are, I don't know for sure if it's 5 or 4, but there's different levels of intimacy. And I talked about it in 31 season 3 finale, Tables Always Turn. It's sexual intimacy, it's psychological intimacy, it's recreational intimacy, emotional intimacy, spiritual intimacy. So there is 5, right? So that all of those things is what is in the BDSM lifestyle and DS relationships that a lot of people are unaware of. See, what happens is there's a plethora of people out there who are broken. So they go through perhaps this lifestyle as a scapegoat to blanket that. They haven't healed themselves yet.
Yeah. I
You
feel
see-
like that's a lot of people.
You see what I'm saying? This high value thing is a it's work. It's work internally as well as externally.
There you go.
So every dom is also aware of psychology.
Well, they should
They
be.
know how people think, and I said this in BDSM 101, episode 12, season 1 finale. They know a little bit about everything, which makes them an intellectual, but they know how to read people. Like, I could walk into a room and not just change the energy. It could be a room full of racists. When I'm done talking to them, they'll like black guys. They'll like black people. He changes people. When he walks into the room, you feel his hormones. That's another thing that drives women crazy. I have high
Yes.
levels of testosterone. So I don't even need to be out here showing my tattoos. I could be in a suit. Women will stop, and it has happened. Stop talking to their friends. Who is that? It's the energy. So this is what people don't talk about. This is why I say a dominant is universal. If he knows everything, and if he doesn't, he works to know it. Can't fix this shit? I'm gonna learn to fix it. He's your every man if you're a woman. Your protector, your provider, your leader, your decision maker, your great sexer. He's strong. He's your protector.
Right.
You understand? He's your father figure, your teacher, your punisher. If you do stupid shit online, posting your cheeks, he's holding you accountable.
Amen.
He's all those things. But most people just focus on, oh yeah, you got to get your know your sub. She has the power. She gives you the power that makes you strong, and just keep knowing each other and do things, and then have a lot of sex. That's what's out there right now.
Yeah.
As far as education.
So are you saying that it's about men and women understanding their roles more?
Yes.
Definitely.
Where
Yes,
it then brings about greater awareness
Yes.
of who they are.
Yes.
Right,
Like
okay.
you were saying, as you were the hunter, right? Which is an irony. If you're a hunter, how are you going to get a hunter? You're going to be looking for prey. And if you're looking for prey, that means the guy is lesser.
That's good.
I was gonna
She
say that
said,
they're
"Damn."
already. No, I was gonna say that he's already less than you
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
you're the hunter.
She
Right.
said, "Damn, like this motherfucker's good."
That was a damn moment.
You see what I'm
And yeah,
saying?
it's true.
So the fact
Absolutely.
that he's lower, you're never gonna see him as dominant
Okay.
because of that respect. See, when a sub relinquishes control, she's not just trusting, she's respecting. They go hand in hand. So now she starts to build love around that.
But let's say for like women who are not in the BDSM
Mhm.
world, right? So like Melissa, she's not in the or any other woman that's not in
It
the
doesn't
BDSM.
it doesn't
It
matter.
doesn't matter. Okay.
Because these
Okay.
guys are not just dominance, the noun, they're dominant, the adjective. So she could observe a man and she is reading the pheromones. She's reading the energy and she's like, that's a man. When she talks to a girl or whatever, that's a man. Who the fuck is that?
So
That's
wait,
a
when you see a
man.
man like that, is your way of hunting now approaching that man?
No.
Exactly.
Then how the
You
hell are you
see?
hunting?
You see? You
That's how I
see?
would hunt.
You see why
Yeah.
does she feel that way? Because she gets back into her
Femininity.
femininity.
You see how?
And because
Yeah.
she's in her
He's
femininity,
good. I'm telling you, he's good.
No.
because she's in her femininity, she's like, oh no. Just like a woman that observes a guy that's like a man. No. I don't want to do shit to him. I want him to do shit to me. Yeah, I had niggas where I had to do shit to them, sit on their faces,
Oh,
blah blah blah
Right.
blah.
boy,
No.
Jesus.
I want him to do shit to me. So in that moment, she don't want to be the hunter. She want to be the
The prey.
prey.
Because you recognize at that moment.
Yes.
So, and it's funny that you mentioned that because when you came out of the car, it was like something like those pheromones. I was like, oh, wait a
About
second.
him?
Yes.
About Mr. E. Discipline right here?
Yes.
Girl, no wonder you
honestly.
sweating. She had to take off her coat and everything.
No, I'm being dead ass because and you're hitting on all the points and it makes sense as to why I automatically switched and I just felt myself fall into
Yeah.
that submissive
More
role.
feminine.
Yeah.
Yeah, like how can I help you or
You know-
what do you need my
With her
help?
You
hand.
know also
Can I carry this?
Can
you
I
know-
ca-
you
Do you want to sit in the front? It's okay.
you know also why that is? It's the energy.
Mm,
When
yeah.
you observed me, and you may notice or you may not notice, subconsciously you do, you saw all these things that was pushing out, father figure, dominance, oh my god, like, and then
Look at the tattoos.
yeah, all of that now puts you in your
Place.
like girly mode
I agree.
instead of like the woman.
The girl
and
switch came on.
and now you're
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
now you're like, this is like, I'm not saying this is true, but you're looking at that. If we were like met at a bar, I want this guy to protect me. Automatically, you inspire respect. And that's what it comes down to. You inspire that respect. So once you got that respect, it's like, in a way, that motherfucker ain't nothing to play with.
That
But if I was a clown, you'd be like, oh yeah, and
He's
whatever.
fun,
But
yeah.
now when you're
Right,
like,
right.
that motherfucker ain't nothing to play with, I do want to be submissive because this is a serious guy, which
Right.
is another characteristic trait that dominant males have.
Can I ask
Now,
you?
now the big misconception is, I'm not saying guys can't smile once in a while or whatever. That's not the misconception of not being being a serious guy. Oh, he never smiles. Because people will say that to me. Oh, he never smiles. He's never a jokester. No, men could make jokes and laugh, but it's not you're not a fucking comedian. You're not.
Right, there's a time and a place.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
it,
Mhm.
right.
You know what I'm saying? These guys are charismatic. So I could be having a conversation with you ladies and I say something funny and you both laugh. You see what I'm saying? He's charismatic. So, these are the characteristics that all of these men possess.
Now, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Do you like how he said
Mm-hmm.
about being serious or being like a jokester? Which do you find more attractive?
I've always found a man who's funny as attractive because
Because he has
I
a
like
sense of
to,
humor.
yeah, if you
Mhm.
have a good sense of humor, that's great. There's a time and place, like Discipline was just saying, there's a time and place for everything.
Mhm.
But I feel like for the most part, there's a lot of clowns out there too,
Yeah.
and I don't know if they're using that sense of humor
To
to
get pussy.
mask and to all right,
Right.
So
To pander.
Mm,
You see what I'm saying?
right.
And what ends up happening is you're going to be laughing with the clown forever.
Well, you know why I
Mm.
think guys who are more like funny or clowny, they because they're like that, the women I feel are more like, well, okay, well, he's more approachable.
That too.
That other
Yeah.
guy looks hot, but he's so serious. I'm scared. I'm gonna go up to him
And
and
that's me.
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah. That's
That's
true.
me. Like if I would have never met you through Sue and I would have saw you walking down the street or at the supermarket, I mean, I immediately my eyes would gravitate towards you because there's that quiet confidence,
Hmm.
right?
Mm,
But then I would be like, "Oh, there's no
quiet.
way."
Oh,
Yeah.
she was like, hell, I'm
Yeah.
like, mm-mm.
Like I
But she'd be
I
imagining a whole lot of
oh,
things
for sure.
There's no way what? There's no way what?
There's no way that I would find myself approaching
approaching.
you.
Oh, okay.
Does that make
I thought
sense?
you were saying that you would get with him.
Oh, no, I would like to.
Here's the reality.
Mhm.
What Suhei is saying is right.
Mm,
You want to seem approachable to women.
mm,
However, this is one thing. A man should not want to seem approachable to everybody.
Yes. Well, a woman too.
And the
interesting.
Both.
woman too.
Yeah.
Why?
Interesting.
Because that herds off the with like for example, I don't date hoes. I don't talk to them. I don't do business with them.
Mm,
I don't engage with them. I don't have sex with them. So it keeps the hoes away. Why? Because hoes like to control men. Hoes actually love to manipulate.
mm,
You see what I'm saying? So when I say a woman's a hoe, it's not just she's promiscuous. She has these characteristics also. She likes to manipulate.
mm,
She's used to like running niggas.
mm.
So when she sees a man like you, she's like, I gotta stay away because he's gonna be my kryptonite. I'm gonna give him everything. And I'm used to finessing niggas.
Gotcha.
Mm.
Mm,
So
That
now it
makes
becomes
sense.
a control factor
yeah.
that the guy could be 6'8", 280 pounds. She could be 5'4", 150. She still controls his ass.
Mm,
He could even still be dominating her in bed. She controls his ass and she controls the relationship.
Mm-hmm.
mm,
You see what I'm
mm,
saying? So
mhm.
the thing is, it's like these men are not for everybody. It's like tattoos. Why ain't we seeing everybody with tattoos? It's not the money.
Mm,
Everybody got money.
mm,
We're talking about a wage gap. Okay, that's different. 6 figures, 7, 8.
mhm.
But everybody has money. So it's the pain and the patience and dedication. That shit is permanent also.
But I
So
also,
a lot of people
yeah.
don't get it. So it's like that.
Mm.
Tattoos ain't meant for everybody because of the pain and the dedication and the patience. Dominance aren't for everybody because they're not for the weak.
Mm.
But then I also feel that you're a unicorn, like I said earlier, because um, there are men out there that do possess those dominant qualities
Mm-hmm.
as you're going through them. But there's also toxicity out there as well. You know, there are
Well,
dominant men that are out there that are toxic.
They
that's
yeah,
toxic traits. Yeah.
yes.
Mm-hmm.
You
Yeah.
know what I
Yeah.
mean? So it
So yes, you're right. So
yeah.
now the not just the lifestyle, but those type of men, they're they're misrepresented and there's a misperception of them. So now when I say like let's
Mhm,
say I say I'm a dominant,
mhm.
women will automatically look at it as he's controlling.
Mm. Maybe you mean
He's
if
gonna
they
keep
met
me under.
another guy that's similar?
Yeah,
Yes.
because of the misconception.
Right.
He's gonna keep me under my thumb, under
Right.
his thumb.
Mm,
He disrespects women. He beats women.
Mm-hmm.
That's how he gets off. He's a sadist.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So these are the misconceptions, but that's why I say a dominant
mm,
has to be all around. Women love women love danger to an extent,
mm.
and that danger could be associated also with aggression. Dominants have controlled aggression. So if she was with a guy that was he was bossy, he wasn't dominant, he was bossy,
Right.
right? And controlling, and he also would beat her like he couldn't control himself.
Mm.
When she meets a dominant man, yes, her pussy's gonna
Throb.
clit's gonna throb and stuff, and she's
Right.
gonna get drenched.
Mhm.
However, she's gonna be scared to be in a relationship. She want the short term. She's gonna be scared to be in a relationship because what's gonna possibly come
Right.
with
She's
that?
gonna associate the other relationship with this
Yes.
one. Yeah.
So
Right.
you have
I
to
feel like
understand.
people, women, men and women just automatically do that. We always go back, well, the last guy
So
or the
true.
last girl was like this, I'm gonna keep doing this. And we never ask, well, what do you like? You know what I
So
mean?
true.
Yes.
So true.
Yes. So what ends up happening is um these these women think that these men possess these traits. They don't have emotional intelligence. The moment I say something, he's gonna abuse me, which is hitting you beyond your consent. That's the
Or
difference between
verbal or verbally.
yeah. So that's
Right.
the difference between like some BDSM
Mhm.
dynamics and play
Mhm.
versus abuse. There's consent there. Like she'll say, "Smack me."
Right.
It could be bad or choke me. You see,
Mm.
but if he's doing that without consent, it could be rape. It could be it's abuse.
It's
You see the
Or
abusive.
difference?
anger. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I totally get that.
women could have been in the abusive situation, and the guy could have also been dominant, adjective. So now when they see dominant, they don't put into play of the characteristics. That's
Mm,
why they're a dominant. Like what makes a Ferrari and not a
Mm.
Honda?
That
right.
makes sense.
You see what I'm saying?
That makes sense.
So now a woman is like observing this thing, is like, yo, this guy's gonna control my shit, check my phone, he's gonna beat me. You know, when he gets
Mhm.
mad, he's gonna
Talk bad to
bad
me.
bad about
Right.
me. He's
Right.
gonna tell my secrets. He's gonna
Mhm.
rape me when he wants. He's gonna not protect me.
That's
All of those
awful.
misconceptions. So that's why I'm
Yes.
saying those men aren't dominant. They're
Right.
controlling. They're abusers. You see what I'm
I
saying?
understand.
They're overpowering.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? They're gonna keep you under your thumb, under your
Mhm.
thumb, but
Mhm.
not empower you. You see, so
Mm.
these are the biggest misconceptions. That's why a lot of women fear us in that way.
I have
What
to agree.
A
dominance? You
dominant,
dominant?
yeah.
Mhm.
I have
So
to agree with
they
that.
would
Yeah.
get with the guy
Mm.
that it's like, listen, the dominant I want to have fun with. Even if it's a sexual relationship and it goes on for a year, I just want to have sex with him. I
That's
just
so
want to, maybe
I just want to
conversation,
give him a try.
maybe
right.
conversation once in a while, but we're not hanging out. We're not getting to know each other.
Yeah.
Doubts, insecurities, none of that stuff. I don't want you to hold my hand. Nothing, right? Provide for me, nothing.
Just
That's
sex.
crazy.
Just sex. Because if we get in a relationship, I'm not ready to give up benefits.
Mm.
Mm.
Like her freedom, if that's what
Like
she's
my
Yeah.
scared of.
freedom and my independence.
Yes.
Exactly.
So, can we talk about that?
Yeah. So what happens is
Mhm.
this is the negotiation part where it's like,
Mhm.
okay, modern society, this isn't 1950s, where
Mhm.
back in the day a man could have been drafted. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Went out to the Marines or whatever, the army. Women were inclined to staying home, and men were out there risking their lives and bringing home the bacon, right? And women were cooking it. So the thing is, women
Excuse
are
me.
able to do that now. You see what I'm saying? Work like longer hours than
Mhm.
men, make as much money as men, go out and
Right.
actually have to work. Women are more empowered. So the
Mhm.
thing is, it's like when you get with this type of man, this is when the negotiations come in. And it's like, what is your independence? Explain it to me to an extent. Like, are you talking about being half naked on social media, going out to the club every weekend? You see what I'm saying? If she's
Mhm.
like, I want my independence in a way to work,
Mhm.
hang out with friends sometimes,
Right.
go see my family,
Right.
spend time with my kids. That's different.
And
You
that's what
you
I'm
see what I'm
talking about.
saying?
Yeah.
So that's the communication aspect, and then the negotiations.
But like, okay, because I know she had brought up this particular topic when she was dating
Right.
a man and she wanted to spend time with her best friend who
Mhm.
lives out of state, and
Mhm.
he had
He had
what
an
happened?
issue with that. So he had an issue with that because um he couldn't understand, number one, why I wanted to spend time with her.
Were
And
you supposed to
were
spend
you
time with him that
explaining it?
time?
No.
Were you
Oh,
explaining it?
Yes.
Okay.
Because I mean, not for nothing, I think for the most part, you can ask anybody. I try to communicate as much as I can.
Mm,
That's just part of
who you are,
me.
right?
Yeah, it's part of my foundation. So it was almost like, but wait a second, I've explained to you in great detail. I've given you the address. I've shown you pictures of who she is,
mm,
and it still wasn't enough
So
okay.
because
what would you say? Sorry, I don't mean
right.
to cut you
No,
off,
that's
but
okay.
in that kind of, she's trying
He's
to.
unhealed.
Yeah.
So
That's
was
what I
Because
I
think
let's
too.
say
wrong
let's
though?
say we were in a dynamic.
Was I wrong? I just.
No,
Mm.
let's say we were in a dynamic.
Mm-hmm.
That would make me more secure.
Mm. Because she's
You,
showing you everything.
yeah, you got to understand, and a lot of doms don't explain this. when it's BDSM protocol, I'm the protocol. So
Yeah, I'll get it,
the thing
bro. To call.
the thing is,
I'm scared.
what happens is that guy's unhealed. You and I,
Mhm.
if we were in a relationship dynamic like this, DS, and you explain it to me, it's gonna make me more secure. Why? Because you would be my sub. I'm investing in you, and I always have your best interest at heart. The number one goal for me is protecting you. So if you are away from me every time you are, it's scary.
It gives you anxiety.
Mm.
You understand? So
Mm.
if you telling him, maybe he didn't explain this. I'm telling you, a lot of guys are.
Yeah, they
But
don't.
then
You
he
understand?
accused me of being a lesbian. Where did that come from?
That's what I'm saying. I'm trying to explain to you.
unhealed.
He's unhealed.
Mm.
Because the thing is, that would make me secure. Why? Because you're giving me access to come there whenever I want. I'm going to explain it to you.
Yeah.
Because you gave me information. So now, if I want to, I could pop up. You're giving me security.
Mhm.
See how it's 100 100?
Right.
You're not saying, I'm going to my friend, we're in Long Island,
Mhm.
in Connecticut,
Mhm.
who he never met. He don't know the address to. I'm spending the night. How does he know niggas ain't gonna be there?
Mm.
And
I understand.
he's right for thinking like that.
Right.
But if you're saying this is the address, this is her phone number, if you have any issues, this is how she looks, this is how she behaves,
Right.
he's unhealed. You
I
see?
understand.
Why? Because you're giving him security of you're gonna be protected.
Mm. Understand.
That's why if a man is telling you you going out to the club, don't dress that way, it's not because he's being domineering. You see?
Yeah.
But a lot of men out
So-
here can't explain it like this.
Correction. You're not being domineering when you tell your subs that, but they're just like she met a man who she's giving him all the answers that he needs to, and because he's unhealed, there might be men that are
Exactly,
like that.
because he's unhealed.
Right, but what I'm saying is not all men don't want their girls to dress a certain way because they want to protect them. They just are jealous that other guys are going to be watching.
So
That's
Yeah.
my only point that I want to make.
Mhm.
But and I will let you speak. I swear to God.
no, you're fine.
But in that, like, she's not
Mhm.
the only woman that we've had on the show either call or be here that says, there are these kind of men. When I try to have this,
Mhm.
this communication with them, it's like
Mhm.
they shut down. You know what I mean? So it can't be just the women that don't know how to behave, that don't know how to act traditionally, because she is one of the most traditional people I have ever met in my life. She is one of the most submissive women I have ever met in my life. And it can't be that she can't, how can it be? She's traditional, submissive. She knows her place, in a traditional relationship, and she's meeting these fuckers.
What happens is
Counterfeit? Is it fair to say counterfeit?
counterfeit.
Counterfeit dominance out
Yes,
there.
yes.
Yeah.
What happens is
Thanks.
modern women are the byproduct of modern men.
Mm,
Mm.
So
that makes sense.
when it
Yeah.
comes down to all of this, at the end of the day, men create life, women carry it.
Mm.
That's good.
So men are creating these crazy women, or these women who have to be dominant and lead, these women who are like vocalizing how they feel and what they want, and the guys closed off.
Mm.
Yeah.
You see, this is not
It's
associated
just
with
a
a
bad
dominant.
match. Yeah.
Mhm.
This is
Yeah.
not associated with a dominant.
Mhm.
Why? Because the dominant is deemed the leader in the dynamic. He's setting the tone. So if he's not vocalizing, this is how I want things to be.
Right.
This is where I see us in 5 years. I don't like you dressing like that.
Mhm.
It's provocative.
Mhm.
It's not, I don't trust you. I don't trust men. It's easy to get sex. For men, it isn't. And when they're drunk and there's no security, it could be worse for you.
Mhm.
You see, so when he's explaining, it's different.
I
You understand?
totally get
But
that.
you're talking about like me. I'm talking about a 1% man.
That's what I was gonna
Most
say.
men aren't doing
The
that.
trick is finding that person that's like that, that man that you're saying is like
Right.
Yes,
Which is like
most
a needle
women,
in a
most
haystack.
women, yes, it
Exactly.
is, and
Exactly.
most women are gonna settle because
So what should they do?
Bingo.
What should they do
Right.
so that they don't settle and they are on the right track to finding a good dominant, man to be with?
And does this mean about red flags? Once you see those red flags, as you're in that beginning stage of getting to know one another, and you're spending time, and you're
I
You
having
think
gotta-
these
red
conversations.
flags, you see one red flag, you shut it down.
Mm,
That's what
Listen,
I think. That's my
listen,
honest.
listen. I don't have sex with women I don't see a future with.
mm,
Another thing is I could meet a woman tomorrow and say, I'm talking to her. I talk to her a few days before I take her out. Because I'm not like everything about me I'm giving is a gift. My money, my time, everything. Right? So I wanna see how she is before I even want to waste my time. Everything's good. I'm taking her out on the second day or third day. As I'm getting to know her, I'm not sleeping with her right away either. The reason is what I'm going to provide her is immaculate. A lot of men can't do what I could do. So if she's unhealed, if I don't know her like that, I could be inspiring more crazy. Somebody that's going to pop up
mm,
at my crib at 2 o'clock in the morning because I didn't give her dick all week and maybe we had an argument. And I got to
yeah.
wake up at 6
Mm,
to go manage a whole bunch of people.
mm,
You see what I'm saying? So it's like I'm just giving you an example.
yeah.
But I'm just saying that when you know that you have this power, you make it scarce for people who are worthy. So what should women
Mm.
do if they want that? They need to work on themselves. They need to be more in their feminine. So if they're more in their feminine by the law of attraction, polarity, sexual, emotional, psychological polarity, you're going to attract masculine.
Mm.
See, women out here that are independent and I'm intimidating, men don't because I make more money and stuff.
Mm.
No,
Yeah.
we're not intimidated,
Wow. Mm-hmm.
in all ways. We could talk
Yeah.
about biology, science.
Oh yeah.
We're
Mhm.
stronger. You could bark. What is that gonna do? Who cares?
Yeah.
So we're not intimidated. It's just that you're displaying masculine energy and we're masculine. So due to the law, we go like this.
The law of attraction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
So
Yeah,
it
that
has
makes
to be
sense.
the opposite so it could stick.
No, that definitely makes
So
sense.
how do women find these men? They're not in the club every week.
No.
They're not on dating apps.
Mm.
It's very hard to find them, but how do they find them? The law of attraction, energy.
I understand.
The ancestors could say, this woman's been praying for an alpha male her whole life. She's shy. She wants that alpha man to build more confidence and open up.
Mm.
She needs him. She's saying she needs him, whether it's praying to God or the ancestors.
Yeah.
That guy's at home. She's at the supermarket right now. He's planning on going to sleep. He gets a kick in the head. It's like, yo, I got a little bit of a headache. But it's a kick in the head. An ancestor kicked him in the head, like soccer.
He went to go get some Advil at the supermarket you're in, bitch. Ow,
Exactly.
you see how it works?
Exactly. So, or,
Yeah.
hey, I got to get milk for tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? I got to
Right.
get organic milk. He coincidentally, because I don't believe in coincidences.
Yeah.
Nobody meets by accident.
Right.
He coincidentally, air quotes, goes to the supermarket that you're in. You guys pass each other, feel some type of energy. You probably get chills.
Mm.
You look at him, maybe you give him a smile as a hint. Now he walks up to you.
Mm. Yeah. That's hot.
He's an author, okay?
That's
Bitch,
hot.
grab a book and read it.
So how do you attract this man?
Mm.
Not by money, not by status
Right.
and all that.
By
stuff.
working on yourself.
By working
By
on yourself.
healing
Why?
your traumas.
Why?
I
Because
see what you mean.
energy and soul is more powerful than flesh. If people are meant to be together, they could be in different countries, different states. Somehow, the ancestors, God, polarity will push their bodies. Coincidentally, now, hey, what are you doing at the supermarket?
What you doing here? I'm getting
You
some
see what I'm saying?
Advil. I got kicked in the head.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
you see what I'm saying? That's
I
how
see
you
what you
do
mean.
it. You need your soul needs to be pure. When I say women have masculine energy, keyword energy. I'm not saying that you're a man.
Right.
Yeah. That's
I'm
not a
saying,
you're
real.
displaying a
I'm,
I
lot
don't
of
want to be a
male
man.
yeah,
tendencies.
you
Yeah.
Yeah.
talk like a nigga.
I
You
don't.
you you
Mm-mm.
walk.
Not you.
You
He's just
act.
giving examples.
You act like him. You do what he does.
Mhm.
You think like him. You move like him. Like a woman that's promiscuous is in her masculine.
But also,
That's
you have to keep in
interesting.
mind that all these things, that a woman is talking like a man, acting like a man, and all that stuff, that is characteristics of a person that is unhealed. And you have billions of people like that running
Agreed.
around because they don't even realize that they have to do work on themselves.
Yes.
You
Agreed.
have grown ass 50-year-old, 60-year-old men and women,
Mm-hmm.
75, and then you have the young ones that are just coming in. So they're already coming in with a fucked up mentality.
Right.
Right. But on top of that, you got all these older people that don't even know. And that's why you keep bumping, So as long as me saying that is, if you know that there's things that you have to work on yourself, then don't worry, ladies, don't worry about finding that man, because you're gonna, if you don't work on yourself, if you don't try to fix what's broken or unhealed in you, all you're gonna do is attract a broken, unhealed partner.
True.
So, and
agree.
I know a lot of times women, who are single and who have been single for a while, we tend to get, like, damn, the clock is ticking,
Yeah.
man. I've been single for a
Right.
year or two now. You
Right.
know what I mean? But you keep doing that cycle because you're not learning that specific lesson that you have to learn.
Right. Makes
Also,
sense.
also that broken woman could also attract a healer.
That's true
Now
too.
she's draining him.
That's true too.
That's true too.
You see what I'm saying? And if she's not constantly learning and wanting to grow, he cuts her off.
Or
And then
that's what he should do.
And then what does she
True.
end up doing?
Not learning.
She goes
No.
back to the toxicity.
Yeah, she goes back to what she knows, what she's
Because the
comfortable with.
irony is, the irony is she's comfortable with that. She back what she knows. So these men possess intelligence. They're self-knowledge. They're self-aware, not just of themselves, but their atmosphere. They have eye discipline. Like I said, the most powerful person in the room is the one who is the most quiet and calm. I could walk into a room and read everything. Look at that girl twirling her hair with the friend over there. Look at, you ever seen the movie Equalizer with Denzel?
Yes.
Yes.
Before he's gonna get into his action, he sets his alarm on his clock to time himself. You see a matrix. Everything slows down and he's observing everything that's going on in the room. This is a dominant. They have great eyes and they're very observant. So they're not just book smart. You know what I'm saying? They're not just possibly street smart. You know what I'm saying? They might be conscious.
Yes.
You understand? They know what's going on in the world, things that aren't being taught in schools and books.
Right.
They have that innate ancestry, God, memory or intelligence. They got the gift from the ancestors.
That's what's up.
You see what I'm saying?
I totally
These
get
guys possess this. They're a handful, but they possess this. They're what you would call divine masculine, godly.
And I was just gonna say that because growing up, and I, was mentioning earlier, growing up in a traditional Christian home, we were taught, right, and it states in the Bible, the man is the head of the household, and the woman is the helper. Now I know what everybody's thinking right now, but when you understand, and as you're explaining, you understand the role of a man, and you understand the role of a woman. It doesn't bother me that someone would say I'm submissive. Why? Because I understand my role as a woman. And it's more.
It actually, sorry to cut you off. It actually makes you more powerful when you're in your feminine as a woman.
I agree.
See, we're born with both. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
obviously, I'm an author writing books and erotica, so that's me getting in my feminine. I'm in tune with that. Right? I could read a woman's mind and mentally stimulate her, love her mentally. A lot of men can't love women mentally. Now I'm in my feminine. I could love a woman emotionally. I'm in my feminine. It's hard for a lot of men.
It is.
Okay, I'm also able to talk about my feelings
Not a
and
lot of men can do
communicate.
that.
So I'm in my feminine. However, most of the time I'm in my masculine. You know what modern women are in? They're in their masculine like me. Their femininity's right here.
I
You
think
see,
I
because
Hmm?
because they're women, they should be in their dominant energy and role. And what is that?
feminine.
Feminine. Yeah.
I think what happens is women, like he has stated, women that were forged in battle, single moms and all that stuff,
Right.
they have to take on now all these masculine energies. If they are that single mom, they don't know how to now, when they meet a man,
Turn
they
it
don't know how to
down.
turn it off because
Yeah.
I've have to do this whole time. You're not going to come into my house where I run shit and tell me what to do.
That's
But that's
valid.
not. That's already you
Or
already
her
pushing that negativity there.
or her
That makes
kids.
sense.
Right.
What about her kids? Just another topic.
Don't be.
Yeah.
Don't.
But
That's
you
another.
can't discipline them if they don't belong to you. She might say, "Hey, you ain't gonna talk to my son like that."
Right.
You see?
Right.
So
Where's his place? What does
exactly.
he do? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? That's a difficult situation to be in, period. But
So
No,
these
it
men,
is.
these men are
You already
also
know.
these men are also stubborn. So that may be a toxic trait, but it could be a good thing and a bad thing.
I agree.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
can ego. Ego can be a good and a bad thing as well.
Yeah. So I'm stubborn in a way where you ain't gonna see me online doing a fucking challenge. You ain't gonna see me no
Yeah.
hoochie daddy things that they talk about.
Have you
Right?
seen that? The little
Switch
shorts?
the switch challenge of the girls. Hey, you wear my clothes. You see? So stubborn in a good way.
In a good.
I'm
I
not
see what you
allowing
mean.
I'm not allowing people to emasculate the black man, me,
Mm.
or me emasculate myself for their gratification. They're gonna be sitting
Mm.
with popcorn. Yep, they're doing exactly what we
Discipline
wanted.
because you're healthy.
You see?
You're healthy.
But I'm just saying
Yeah.
that's a
Right.
healthy stubbornness.
Yeah.
But it can be toxic.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Which is, I'll admit, I've, it's
I
toxic.
have never heard him say that. No,
Yeah,
I'm just
it's
kidding.
kind of toxic in certain things. However, even though it's toxic, women love men that aren't afraid of a little conflict or debate.
Right.
The borderline asshole keeps her sexually aroused. That's the irony. Because the fact that she can't control you, the irony is she's more attracted to you.
Yeah.
So the thing is, if you're stubborn, like we talk about masculine and femininity, and I'm debating with you, you're wrong. You're more attracted to me than if I was just, yeah, you're so right. What else you want? Oh, you look so good. You're so right. I'm the
That's
yes
true,
man.
because you know how
I'm
many times
pandering to
I
you.
don't like
yeah,
that.
exactly.
I don't
Girls
like
would
a
be like,
yes
look at him
man.
kissing up to me. Get the
Yeah.
hell out of here.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He's just kissing your ass all
I
day.
don't.
You see, the yes man. We're gonna do everything. You see, so
No.
these men are stubborn, and you're gonna get all these qualities in the same universal traits with these men, but some are negative, some are positive. But they're gonna come with these men.
Mm.
Another thing, these guys are mental stimulators. So they can challenge her mind, her body, her emotions. Now we're going through the bullets because this is all the stuff that drive women crazy.
Have you met men that stimulate your mind? Like a lot of them, or a couple?
It's been very few.
Oh, really?
Very few that conversations that we've had where I'm like, I'm ready to rip my clothes off. It's very rare, but it just awakens something in you when you can have a conversation that's so intellectually stimulating. You're stimulating my mind. You're not just stimulating my libido. My libido. I always say that.
Libido.
Oh yeah, thank you. So I find that like, oh my gosh, that's like the ultimate for me because I love to communicate. And sometimes I made this talk a little too much, but I'm gonna be
She's
honest.
like, I talk a little bit too much,
Maybe
but
just a little bit too much because I'm such a deep thinker and I'm always questioning things and I'm always and I want to find out about the person that I'm dating. That
right.
you know?
So when you speak to these type of men, you sense the power. Like with me, for example, if we were talking over the phone, the deep bass in my voice is dominant to your ears.
Yes.
The eclectic messaging from my brain is seeping into your female estrogen, and that's giving you chills. You could be in a fucking trance when we're having a conversation, and you're probably a talker. You see, I'm fucking with your head. I'm fucking you up.
Yeah.
Right now, in front of the camera,
I
bitch.
know.
You,
This is a live
It just-
demonstration.
you understand? Like, I'm just giving you examples
No.
of these
Right.
qualities that these men have. I don't need a whip in my hand to be like, bend over the table and I'm gonna show you.
Oh my Lord.
I'm skilled at that too, but that's for private people that I engage with privately,
Right.
who are
Exactly.
privileged.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, this is the internal work. That's why you're good at the stuff in the bedroom.
Mm.
You understand? For a woman, sex starts in the mind prior. It's not like that for a lot of men.
Really?
Yeah. That's why you're gonna get turned on. Listen, if we started dating, you could have a guy that's giving you dick on a weekly basis. No fucking communication, nothing. Y'all guys don't go out, none of that stuff.
Yeah.
I take you out,
Mm.
give you a book, give you long ass conversations, mentally fuck you.
Mm.
You're gonna be like,
No physical though.
no
No
physical,
sex yet.
no
Oh
physical,
yeah, no.
no physical.
Right.
You're drenched from the stuff that I'm giving you.
Yeah.
You're like, now I want to see how big his dick is.
Oh
Now I
my
want to see what it
Lord.
is with him. The moment we're in there,
Mm.
I don't need to fucking touch you. You could be on your knees. I walk into the room, your fucking pussy's wet.
Oh my.
It's
Why?
She's staring at you, girl.
Why? Because of all these things we did outside of the bedroom has worked you up to that. You're the fucking engine of the car. All I'm doing is starting it. Push to start. All I gotta do is push to start that mind. So now your engine gotta get warmed up. I'm doing all the foreplay before that, before the bedroom, like we talked about earlier.
Right.
So that foreplay is playing into your head. Now you're at work, drenched thinking about me. You got the nigga that's giving you dick.
Texting you and you're like, not you, you
Yeah,
idiot.
exactly. You're at work
so
now.
true.
You're at work now, like, yo, I just can't wait to get home to talk to Discipline more. I can't wait to get home to plan, to see him, to be in his
You know
energy.
that meme where the phone rings and you're like, fucking not him.
Yeah.
The wrong guy.
Yeah.
So true. No,
So,
it's so true.
you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
So it's like me, I'm giving you more adventure than that guy because all he's doing is giving you dick.
Yeah, super.
And it could be good too.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
He's not
because
hitting everything.
because what happens is you're a woman. That's
You're a
why.
sapiosexual too. Did you know that?
I'm sorry, say that again.
You're a sapiosexual, right? Is that the right word?
I think
Yeah.
that's
Look at me talking like I know shit. Wait, Discipline, did I say it right?
Yeah.
Did I
You
say
said
the
it
right
right.
word?
Yes.
You said
So
it right.
so you know what that is?
If I stand corrected, that's someone who is stimulated sexually, mentally, but also physically. Did I do that right?
Yes.
Is that
Yes.
More
some of- more
mentally
right?
first.
Based
Oh,
off
okay.
based off the mental capacity coming
Yeah.
from the opposing
Okay,
person.
so-
So they are attracted to intelligence.
I love that.
And intelligence it could be in all ways. Emotional intelligence, mental intelligence.
Now I have a question for you though. All right, so
Ay,
let's
ay,
say you
ay.
have, let's say there's
Mhm.
two disciplines, right? He has a twin brother, identical, right?
Okay.
He comes in
Mm-hmm.
and he there's a guy, you're on the phone with him, his voice
Mhm.
sounds just like Discipline,
Mhm.
smart as fuck. He's, you know, you guys could have more than an hour long conversation.
Mhm.
You go to meet up and he doesn't look like Discipline though. He's a little bit
Mhm.
shorter, maybe a tiny bit skinnier,
Okay.
not ugly
or
though,
overweight.
or
extremely
a little
overweight.
bit overweight.
Okay.
Right. Does that now, because prior to seeing him, he had you open with the conversation, does that
Mhm.
change now?
No.
And it's not, your answer is not right or wrong, period. It's just to know.
She said no, and
I-
she's right.
Yeah.
She's right
It should be no.
because a lot of
Mhm.
women will date ugly guys, overweight guys.
Yeah.
It depends on what they're providing.
Mm-hmm.
I've dated men who, in appearance, people are like, "Really, Mel?" But I'm like, "There's
Because
just
he was
something
just so good looking, right? And they were like, "What's wrong with you?"
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, right. No, but it's like no. What matters is here. What matters is here, the internal.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Because for the most part, on the flip side of that, when I have been with good-looking men, they're just cocky and they're assholes and
Yeah.
they're just again like that counterfeit
They don't have
dominant.
that. Yeah.
They're toxic. I mean, I've been in a relationship with someone who is mentally emotionally, psychologically, and in the bedroom abusive.
Mm.
And I did that for 2 years, and it took everything within me to say, "Okay, if you don't get out of this situation."
Thank God you got out.
And I did.
Mm.
And
Wow.
I had to do what
Why
I
do you
had to
think you
do
were in that situation for so long?
because I settled. And I in my mind, I thought to myself, "Well, he's a good provider." You know,
Because he was paying bills?
he's strong. So he kind of checked off some of those boxes as you're describing the characteristics and traits of a dominant.
Right, but the main one, the protection one, was not
It
checked
wasn't
off.
there because not only was he abusive to me, but he was abusive to
So
my
he
child as
wasn't a
well.
dominant. That's what I'm saying.
But I didn't know that.
Yeah, he was like a dominant or
He was a
overpowering
bully.
person.
And oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So, you know, and it's interesting to hear, what the topic of what we're talking about today, because I had no idea. So all of these misconceptions and all of
Mm.
these things that I thought,
Women
yeah,
don't. Women don't. And there's not a lot of education out there. And people would be
no.
like, "Well, what makes you the one? Like, I'm the chosen one. That's why."
Mm,
And not only that, because
yeah,
I mean, he can say whatever he wants about
right.
himself, but he
Yeah,
always backs it up. Like
understood.
I've never met, and I've said this before, I've never met somebody who actually does what he says. His word is his bond. I've heard it growing up. Mom, where's my bond? Where's my bond? Not him. And he also explains it. He takes the time out to
Mm-hmm.
teach you
Mm-hmm.
about what it is.
And that's rare.
That's very rare.
That's very rare because I guess my question is, what is the thought of a man who does a lot of this, but then
Doesn't back it
action?
up.
Yes.
That's a
What?
boy.
And there's so much of that
That's a
in all
boy.
ages.
There's so many
That's a
grown ass boys.
that's a boy.
Yes. And
You
I'm like,
understand?
you're a grown ass man to be playing these games. Like, it's just mind boggling to me,
Yeah.
The thing
so.
is, these men who are dominants, the
Mm,
noun, they're associated with real men. They're associated with masculinity.
mm,
So a man is not going to allow himself to be overweight, and if he is, he's working on himself.
Mm.
mm,
Because listen, the way you look is a direct reflection of how you are. You look lazy.
Mm.
You see, it's counterintuitive. It's not who your false advertisement. It's like the fat personal trainer.
Right. Or the fat gym teacher.
Yeah.
mm,
So the
mm,
thing is, the fucking professor who's uneducated. It's
Right.
like that. So it's like that's what it comes down to, that these guys practice physical discipline. So they're gonna be, if they're not in the gym, they're gonna be
mm,
exercising. They're
yeah.
healthy. You know what I'm saying? They have a great physique.
They watch what they
They
eat.
they
They're
they they
disciplined.
they have some type of muscle because protection is their asset.
Mm,
Protecting other people, protecting themselves.
interesting.
You understand what I'm saying?
Interesting. Yeah.
They have mental discipline.
I think that
Mm,
we've had enough women on the show that we should start a petition and you should lead a class.
I agree.
Okay?
I agree.
Then we
Well,
could all find somebody.
yeah,
Yay!
no, I agree. So with that being said, a dominant man, are they looking for someone who just not only stimulates them mentally, emotionally, physically, but also, do they have to be right? Like, does the woman have to be like perfect body and in shape,
No,
and
no,
does that?
no. That
No.
that that that's subjective.
Okay.
That's like a particular guy. A guy that wants model type or stick
Right.
figures.
Right.
I'm not saying he's not a dominant.
That's just his
That's his
preference.
that's his
Preference.
body
Okay.
preference.
Understood.
You know what I'm saying? When we
Mhm.
talk about preference, it's the entirety. Could be
Okay.
mental preference, educational,
Mhm.
financial, body preference. You see what I'm saying?
Understood.
So the thing is, like for me, um, looks doesn't matter. I've been with 12s. I've been with the models. Dumb as
Mm,
bucket of shrimp, no connection. All they wanted was sex from me and me to buy them things. You see,
yeah.
gifts and stuff. They
Mm,
weren't catering nothing, submissive.
mm,
So it's like, for me, that being that I experienced that and I could have it,
mm,
it's not enticing to my life, not just as a dominant, but my growth, my spiritual growth everywhere I'm going.
understood.
So if the woman has the nice body model type, she also has to have the mental capacity and the
Mm,
spirit as well.
Okay.
You understand? Which is a rarity. It's almost an anomaly statistically because women like that, probably whether they got their body done or worked on it, emphasize so much on physical attraction so much that they lack the internal work. You
But
see?
today's
So it's very hard for you to be able to do
Mm.
everything. Run your own business, take care of your body, and work on your spirit. It's something's gonna lack. You
Okay.
understand? So most women that look like that, it's a rarity that you'll find it, but they're out there.
Mm.
You see, they're not in the club every weekend. I'll
Right.
tell you that.
I also think though that once if you do find it, because there's such a scarcity of these types of people, men, women, whatever, chances are they're gonna be in a relationship already.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's like for
Exactly.
me, right? A woman who could look like and I said it in that show when you got off, a woman who could look like a 7 or an 8 is really a 12 to me if she possessed all these big other qualities pertaining to the dominant and my growth and all that.
Understand.
Submissive, catering, loving, compassionate, intelligent, maybe could sustain conversation, mother figure,
Yes.
respectful. She's
Yes.
not posting provocatively.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? She could take leadership. She's not combative. Cook, clean, understanding. He walked in, he looks mad. Let me give him some time.
Right.
Then maybe I'll ask him what's going on. If he doesn't want to talk, I'll shut the fuck up. Understanding. She's in her feminine. She's a 12 to me now. She looks so good looking.
I understand.
A 7 is not bad if we think about it. An 8 is not bad. 10, we're talking about gorgeous. Body, face, everything. But if you're an 8, I can work with the 8. I'm not talking about like she has an ugly face. No.
Right.
It's platonic.
He's like the face got to be a
The
10.
face
Everything
gotta
else,
be a
could-
10.
everything
But
else could-
I love like a slim thick or a thick woman or I'm not into the stick figures.
Gotcha.
If I meet a stick figure
Me
and all that,
neither.
we're fattening you up.
He's like,
We're
come on,
getting
girl,
you
let's
thick.
go eat some pizza.
So to me, it's like the to some people, their 7 is a 12 to me. You see?
Got it.
Yeah. So the thing is, I'm not shallow. That's the summary.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
So now let me ask you a question. She asked you, all right, what do? You just, set a list. I don't have sex with women on the first date. I build a thing, a connection
That's
mentally and all this. Are you saying that these women should, let's say Melissa, should do the same thing, not have sex, to have that conversation, and if the guy that she's dealing with crosses one of those lines, like, well, what do you mean you don't want to have sex, or the can't sustain conversation, cut all ties.
Bye. Take
Just-
care. Bye. Take
Because-
care.
And also, because me and you have had this conversation,
I know. There you go.
I know how my stance on it, your stance. When you are no longer dealing with somebody, do you keep their information in your book or in your phone, just just for the hell of it? Maybe later on,
No.
a year or two, you delete everything.
No.
There's no more contact. Period.
No.
No more.
No more.
It's finito.
I don't
You gotta
block
cut them
them.
ties, man.
I don't block
I know.
them, but like if they're online, I'll unfollow.
Well, what if they call you or message you just to see how
See,
you?
I was hoping you wasn't gonna ask that.
I'm gonna go there to
So-
see how you doing.
So I had I talked about constantly the only woman that gave me the most problems. Most women been submissive to me to an extent.
Okay.
So the Dominican gave me the most problems. Submissive to an extent, could be bedroom when we go out to the club together, but she's combative, possessive, jealous,
She wasn't
territorial.
in the lifestyle either,
and
right?
in the lifestyle,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
fighting me on the lifestyle, right?
For you to change.
Yes,
Okay.
she contacted me. Whether it was 2021 or whatever, right? And she, was begging me, come on, like just come see me, like dinner. So I'm like,
Like
me,
for closure.
Me,
for
I don't.
closure?
Yeah,
Okay.
Okay.
me, not for her.
No, oh no, that's what I thought. She was asking for closure for her?
No, she was like, I want to see you.
Okay.
You know,
Okay.
dinner.
Right.
So she was asking me to see her,
Mhm.
you know, just to talk. For me, I don't have ill will towards exes, people I was intimate with or whatever. I wish them the best,
Okay.
right? You're gonna hinder your blessings if you holding things back.
Mm.
So unless they did something completely betrayal, which is not,
Mm.
you know, nobody's ever killed a family member or anything like
Oh
that,
my
Mm.
lord. I
right?
hope
Stole
not.
money from me, right? Wipe me out. No.
Mhm.
But so for me, it's like I wish them all the best. So I accepted. Why? Because I felt like she needed closure. So we go out to dinner, and I do this thing where I sit next to you. I don't do the across the table. So
Oh,
even with her, I
interesting.
sat next to her. So as we're talking, she says she wants to get back with me. She was dealing with an Italian guy, and she's like, "Yeah, the sex was kind of good, but this guy wanted me to move in within 2 months of us dating. I had to cut him off or whatever."
Oh,
She
wow.
wanted to get back with me, and I said, "What is your intentions of getting back with me? Because I didn't change how I am.
Right.
So that means you want to be in life." She's like, "Listen," and she calls me by my real name, right?
Okay.
When she's mad at me and we aren't together. But Poppy, when we were. So she called
Mm.
me by my real name, and she's like, "The problem with you is, and what made us not work is you're too intense. You just relax. Just relax." So I'm like, "You want me to relax because you want a friends with benefits thing?" And she's like, "Yes." She was very honest.
Okay.
And I said, "Look, I respect your honesty, but this is it. We're gonna have dinner and that's it." Why? See, you see, that's the problem. This is why we didn't work. That's the problem. You're going back to that. The narcissist, right? That's what a narcissist does. They gaslight.
Mm.
Okay.
Okay. I was just
I
gonna
was like,
They,
say,
they
who's the
gaslight.
yeah, who's
was
the
she calling you a
narcissist?
Yeah,
narcissist? I'm
they
Yeah.
gaslight.
confused.
They
Gotcha.
Yeah.
gaslight.
Yeah.
So now she's like, "That's the problem." Da, 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 da. I'm like, "Listen,
Mm.
you know how I am. I could have sex with you, whether it's good or bad. It's all sex is good with me. It's like cold pizza. It's
I'm hungry.
it's
Cold
not
pizza.
as
Poor pizza.
hot, but it's still good. It's not. That's how.
Pizza is always good,
Yes.
okay?
Yes.
So the thing is, it's like for me, I'm gonna build emotions in that. That means I'm gonna want to know where you at. Like, did you get home safe and all that stuff? She wants to have friends with benefits when she wants dick. No communication.
Oh.
Maybe we can hang out and go to the club sometimes. Relax. You see? I can't do that. Why? Because when I'm intimate with a woman, I put feelings in it. I want to know what you're doing, how your day was, who the fuck was you with, what time you getting home. Niggas that are unavailable emotionally don't care. Go out with your cheeks. I don't care. Post your cheeks online.
Hallelujah. You speak.
But with me, I'm not gonna let her do that. Even you see, so that's why I'm telling her, listen, the proposition is attractive. And she's like, "Yeah, guys would want this. What's wrong
I
with
was
you?"
just about to say that.
She
Yeah.
said that to
A regular
me.
guy would be
Yeah.
like,
A
She's
yeah.
regular
she
guy.
said that to
Yeah.
me. She said that to
Yeah.
me. And
Mm.
I said to her, because when we start having sex and we start absorbing each other's
Mhm.
energy again,
Mhm.
I'm gonna be this stuff that you hated.
Mm,
Wow. Wow. That just
So this is why
Yes.
I don't do that.
Gotcha.
mm.
Mm.
You understand? Because I can't just have a sex with a woman and just be like, let her do her own thing. Because when a dominant claims, he claims. He kisses
That's
you,
what's
he
up.
claims. He's holding your hand, he claiming. He's
That's
having
what's up.
sex with you, he's owning your soul. He claims. So I can't be,
Mm.
I'm a fake dom will be unavailable emotionally.
Come on now. It's
He'll
so
be
true.
able to fuck you and not care about shit about you, not
Mm.
care to protect you, provide, not
Right.
be a leader, decision making, nothing, because he's not in his emotions. He's emotionally unavailable.
But there are so
So
many men like
that
that,
There
dom,
are, yeah.
that dom is a sexual one solely.
just in the
He's not
bedroom.
a dominant because a dominant is 24/7. You
So
see the difference?
he's just dominant in the bedroom.
Yes.
Right, I
It
was
could
just-
be even a top and bottom dynamic. When the door opens in the bedroom, we're dom and sub.
Okay.
However, outside, the girl saying this, I
Okay.
run the relationship.
Oh,
So she just wants him to dominate her in bed.
Yes.
Got
After
it.
that, when they come out of the bedroom, it's back to the reality.
That's
This is how it is.
interesting.
Yes. And even in the bedroom, because they're top and bottom, they might switch roles. The guy might say, baby, go get the
Right.
dildo and fuck me in the ass.
That would not be me. I could say that much. No,
You see
thank you.
see?
Yeah, yeah. I
So
get
the
it.
thing is, these men, this is part of being stubborn and knowing your identity. You understand? So these men have these values that's why they're like this. It's like the Ferrari. You're coming in here trying to get Honda prices. Go back to fucking Honda. This is Ferrari. We're not gonna lower our value and give you a better price because you say Honda's 25,000.
Mm.
You see?
Yes.
So these men possess this,
Mhm.
and if they're stubborn or whatever it is, it's because they know their value. So
Mhm.
people have to adjust to them more than they need to adjust to people. Because especially a man, he knows what he's gonna provide a woman.
Mm.
I know I'm gonna give you the best sex, protection, love, guidance, mental stimulation, and understanding. I know you're toxic, but I'm not running away like these vanilla guys. You don't scare me. I see potential. And I'm willing
That's
to
key.
accept you this way
That's
as
key.
long as you're willing to grow. This is a dominant. But a man who just wants sex and a man who's just the sexual dom,
Right.
he's gonna be like, holy shit. She got raped when she was 8.
Mhm.
That's awful. Oh my
I'm
God.
out of here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Molested, I'm out of here.
Yes.
Too
Maybe
much headache.
she
Yeah.
saw
Yeah.
somebody get killed.
Yeah.
She's crazy. You see,
Right.
that's the gift of dominance. And I wrote this in the first book, The Seduction of
Mhm.
Discipline,
Episode.
chapter 12.
I do the same thing.
Chapter 12, when she relinquishes her gift. That's the gift of dominance. Accepting you, leading your doubts and insecurities. You might have an insecurity. I got a big butt, and he's like, I love it.
Mm.
Girls nowadays
Now he
love that
gives you.
shit.
Now he gives you the
Yeah.
confidence. Just an example. Now he gives you the confidence. That's another gift.
Right.
This is
I
the stuff
agree.
people don't talk about.
And
They don't want to
acceptance
talk
too.
about.
That's so
They're
true.
accepting too.
So
What we got?
let's cut, and then the part 2 we'll finish with this, like the Don Juan,
Mhm.
and then we'll go in, and then we'll
Just keep going with the other one.
we'll keep going with the other one. Yeah.
All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, lucky for you, we have a part 2 because clearly all three of us can talk, and we have Melissa has questions. I have questions.
I do.
And I think we should all really get a petition and have Mr. Eel Discipline do that class because
Yes.
you keep stating all the things that
Mhm.
you would do and these dominant men would do, and there are none out there. So, how about you teach them? And then, all my friends can have
Seminar, workshop.
something.
I'll make it happen. Let's go. Let's.
She can make it happen. We'll be back.
Woohoo!